And on behalf of the Texas Restaurant Association, I'd like to welcome you to this education session. We really appreciate you being here. And before we get started, we want to give a big Texas-sized thank you to our presenting sponsor, Eat Local, Eat Often. With their support, we make valuable programming like this possible. Whether you're here to sharpen your skills, discover new ideas, or connect with industry leaders, you are definitely in the right place. And if you are already a TRA member, you know the value of having expert resources and a statewide network behind you. If you are not yet a member, we can take care of that today. You can go visit our TRA Together Lounge, which is up front that way, and speak to somebody about becoming a member and taking advantage of all the great things we have going on. I am super excited for this chef who is also known as a tamale disruptor. I love that. So please enjoy Chef Latoya Larkin and tamales. Thank you.
I am Chef Latoya Larkin, the proud owner of Black Girl Tamales. So instead of the traditional chicken and pork tamales, we do soul food, Cajun Creole flavors. The concept came literally on a whim. I did not know that tamales was a thing, as it has become, as I've learned that. I grew up making tamales with my grandmother. She learned how to make tamales when she was out in California, and she brought it back to Texas. So I grew up making just the traditional chicken and pork tamale, Mexican style tamales, and I used to teach. So I ran a culinary program out in Spring ISD. And the concept started pre-COVID. So during the summer times and in the fall break, I would make tamales and sell them. And so we were getting ready to ramp up for the summer in 2019. And so I told my son I had some leftover collard greens, and I was like, son, I'm gonna take these collard greens and put them in some tamales. And he was like, Mama, you tripping. Ain't nobody gonna buy that. It sounds weird. We need to just keep doing what we're doing. Like, we got a real good thing going. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but just like you said, it sounds weird. It's different. I was like, think about it. It's like cornbread and collard greens. And he was like, well, when you say that, that makes sense. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I know you're going to do it anyway, but I'm just saying, I still think we need to stick with what we're doing. And I was like, okay, whatever. So went ahead, rolled out, had a meal prep container, rolled out right at a dozen. And so when I let him try them, I was like, hey, come over here and try them. Now, at this time, he is 14. My son's been cooking with me since he's 3. He'll be 21 this year. And so when I called him over, that face lit up, and I was like, Mom, hey, let me get another one. I thought I was tripping though. He was like, okay, you onto something. And so it's like, okay, so started out with that, with the still doing my traditional chicken and pork. And so I added the collard greens. So I let my clients try them, because I have clients that I meal prep and cook for. I let them try them. Hey, Chef, you got to add this to the menu. Like, man, we ain't never heard of that. A collard green tamale? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, y'all got it. You got to add this. So, okay, now we got this. So when I go to the store to get stuff for tamales and I'm checking out, people looking at me crazy, right? Oh, what are you making? And it's like, okay, you see corn husks, you see, like, it's obvious what I'm making, but you don't want to say what it is, but it's okay. And it's like, I'm making tamales. And I caught a lot of that, like, when I tell people I make tamales, they're looking at me crazy. And it's like, I know you're thinking I'm black. I already know. So let's go ahead and get that out the way. So when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Let me brand this name, Black Girl Tamales, because I'm a black girl and I make tamales. And so now we're running with that. And then so my students, we used to do teacher luncheons. So I taught a lot of low-income, at-risk students. And so a lot of times everybody wants to do culinary, but nobody has the money to pay the fees. And unfortunately, Cisco and Gordon's, none of them gives me free food. So therefore, we have to pay for everything. So I will bring food in, let my students build things for my clients, and then also give me ideas and feedback and stuff. And so one of my students, she was like, hey, Chef, let's do, we did that etouffee for the teacher lunches. Let's put some etouffee in the tamales. And I was like, how are we going to do that? And she was like, I don't know, maybe we could do some rice. And then another one chimed in. She was like, no, we ain't going to put no rice in. We're just going to put the straight meat. We're just going to put a little bit of sauce, and we're going to do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so now we got the etouffee tamales and the red beans and rice. So, and then along with the collard green. Well, when COVID hit, my district went into like a complete panic mode. Like for 3 weeks, we're sitting up for a directive to see like what to do. All these other districts, everybody's like Zooming, they're teaching and stuff, but we're still just waiting. So I used to always have my students like take pictures, do videos and stuff like that, just to send me something that you're cooking over the weekend and when we got time off. And so we were on a call, and I did some oxtails that weekend. And so I did the oxtails, and while we was on the Zoom call, I'm laid up in bed, looking up in the ceiling, camera off, and I was like, you know, when I get off this call, I'm gonna take the oxtails off and see about the oxtail tamale. And so I ran downstairs, put that oxtail off the bone, and then it just hit me. I was like, that's it, soul food tamale. So scrapping the traditional chicken and pork, I'll let everybody keep doing what they do with the traditional chicken and pork, but I'm gonna get in my own lane and do these other flavors. So instead of the traditional pork, smothered pork chop. Instead of the traditional chicken, smothered chicken. So flavors that are indigenous to us, to soul food flavors. And then I started branching out, so it's like, okay, in other black cultures, internationally. So now I'm looking at Caribbean flavors. Jerk chicken, curry chicken, brown stew chicken, because these are all chicken based, and then like the suya in Africa, jollof, so just different flavors. So that's what sets us apart. I grew up in East Texas, like right on the border of Louisiana and Texas. My grandfather's from Louisiana, so we grew up eating all the, you know, boudin, jambalaya, red beans and rice, all the Cajun Creole stuff. So again, and every time we ate, I grew up eating cornbread. So we always had cornbread with everything. So it's like everything that goes with cornbread, this is where it comes from. This is actually one of my students here, former student, so just kind of mentoring, and I do a lot with the youth and working with the community of building up our next generation of chefs. Part of my presentation is with building bold flavors and just standing outside the lane. A lot of people be scared to play with different items and marry them, and so that's what, again, where I've had the success, because they're two polar opposite items, cuisines that I'm pulling together. Because a lot of times when people read the flavors and they look at the menu, it's like, oh no, I don't want a plate, and it's like, no, these aren't plates, these are like inside of the tamale. Wait a minute, these are flavors inside of the tamale. So today we're going to do a light demo. As we all know, tamales is the labor of love. It is labor intensive, so we already have everything prepped up. We got tamales already steamed here. I was able to snag up on-site collaboration. So Mike's Hot Honey over there is sponsoring Hot Honey. We're gonna drizzle those on the collard green and smoked turkey tamale. And then also Sanjay, I think they're on aisle 900. They donated the Korean beef sauce, the Korean barbecue sauce. So I have a Korean barbecue beef tamale as well, along with a couple of seafood items. We'll have those separated for anybody that may have allergies, because we have a shrimp and grit tamale and a gumbo tamale as well. Yes, and we have gumbo inside of the tamale. So anyway, before we get going, do we have any questions, any kind of Q&A to kind of go back and forth, anything like that? No? All right, cool. So you want to come on over? No, not the chip. We're going to go ahead and roll out. So we've already soaked our corn husks so that they're soft and pliable, because of course, as we know, when we get them out the package, they're like stiff and everything like that. So in order for them to be pliable, we go ahead and soak them in hot water. And then we've already scooped out some of the massas, so we'll put some on here. Yeah, you can just go ahead and put them out. I'll scoop them out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'll work from over here. So this concept has allowed a lot of amazing opportunities to come my way. I was able to walk away from teaching, because I was teaching, and like I said, I ran the culinary program 8 years out in Spring ISD. I'm still active in the district as well, like I'm on the advisory board, still mentor the youth, and any type of activities and stuff that I have that I can bring them aboard, put them in certain rooms, I'm always going to do that, because that is always important, to put us in the room and be able to network and have those opportunities. The number one seller is the collard green and smoked turkey tamale. That was the one that definitely put me in the lane of being disruptive, because it is, again, as I mentioned, these are standalone entree flavors. So. And another thing, whenever you're making tamales, there's always, I always challenge people to be different. Like, think of different things to do, different flavors, because I know, again, those traditional chicken pork, maybe a bean and cheese or something like that, but just doing different flavors. We also have vegan flavors. My masa is vegan. So along with us having a vegan masa, I do have a vegan dirty rice. I forgot to include that one as well. So we do have a vegan dirty rice, and we offer vegan flavors. We are currently working on retail and food service placement right now. I did have a cafe back in 22, 23, and so we let that go, and so now we're just kind of focused on that placement of getting some things together. So we've have amazing action and traction and programs that we've been a part of, and organizations that we're a part of as well. So we're going to take some of this pork here. There you go. And then this is just some seasoned pork that we had. And again, you could take any flavor, any type of protein that you like to put in it. Let me press this out a bit more. And we're going to roll them up. This is also a very phenomenal experience. For the past 9 years, I've been attending, and then for me to have the traction and the action that I've had with these tamales to now be featured, it is definitely a full circle moment. And also for many of my students that I've brought to the show over the years, when I called to tell them that I was going to be in the show, it's like, Chef, you in the show now? You always used to take us, you used to go? And it's like, yeah, so it's a full circle moment, for sure. And so now that we've got the tamale rolled up, we're going to go ahead and cut them so we can, so they can be of an even, consistent size. Do you have any allergies out in the audience? Any seafood allergies or anything? Seafood allergy? No? Okay. Okay, perfect. So what's our thoughts? What's our thoughts on the collard green and smoked turkey with the drizzle of hot honey? Good. Yes, ma'am? Huh? Yes. Yes, I have a seasoning that I add, just like my own little seasoning that I have. Thank you. Now the next, so we got a gumbo and a shrimp and grits that's going to be coming around. I'm going to actually deliver those. Darren has an allergy to seafood, so we don't want any problems with that. And also I'm going to put them together on the same plate with the gumbo and the shrimp and grits. And you are welcome. So that's the shrimp and grit and gumbo. Got shrimp and grits and gumbo. We got shrimp and grits, gumbo. Great, I'm glad you enjoyed it. He doesn't. Okay. Hey, look, that's what we do. Look, that's what. Oh, look, I appreciate that.
Why would we get small like that?
Oh, that's fine. So the gentleman in the back, he said that I'm Mexican approved. So these are pretty good. It's always a good thing when I'm Mexican approved because I got something. They'll come for me. Of course, they're gonna quiz and try me if I really know what I'm doing. So, all right. So do we have any questions? Any feedback? You're welcome, ma'am. You are very much so welcome. So as I mentioned before, right now we are on track for food service and retail placement, just getting some things together. I was able to rework the recipes and rework packaging and things of that sort. So that is our next goal for the food service and retail placement.